hate puppies.
It's a good podcast.
Better late than never.
I feel threatened.
Except that was early.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
There we go. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully helping you figure out what you should be drinking this weekend.
We are in mid-season form right now. Holy shit.
Dude, that was
a train wreck.
That was a rough start, but it is spring break.
That's right.
Spring break.
You drinking?
Coming you live from Cabo San Lucas.
That's right. That's right. I'm actually, I'm a little slow today. I've been on the road all week, all weekend. Been kind of a nonstop bouncing from place to place. Haven't seen the same bed in days. Like, different bed every night.
You stayed at a friend's place, right? Or a hotel?
Stayed at a friend's place the last two different friends the last 2 nights.
That's awful.
It is always a little tough.
I've never felt comfortable, even at a buddy's house. I'm like, this feels weird sleeping in someone else's bed.
I wasn't in someone else's bed. I was in an air mattress the first night, which was tucked.
Still weird.
Tucked.
We got a special spot for you right over here.
Yeah. Well, no, he hooked me.
Next to the dog.
My buddy takes me upstairs and he's like, all right, dude, we'll blow up this air mattress. But granted, this is at like 4:30 in the morning.
Lord.
That we're deciding. Hey, we should address the sleeping situation.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I think I really need to go to bed, dude. It's like 4. We just ate a DiGiorno at 4 in the morning. Now it's 4:30. The roof of my mouth's burnt. Nothing good's happening. He's like, come on, let's have another beer. I'm like, nope, going to bed. And he's like, all right, well, you're sleeping up here. We walked past his mom's room, who's like got dementia. So like it's like got me like free. I'm like, oh, I'm sleeping up here. He's like, oh yeah, right in here. We fire up the air mattress at 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh god, like we're gonna wake her up, dude.
She could come wandering in your room.
Well, that's what I was a little nervous about that, you know? And then...
Because you would have had to hook up with her.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
That's exactly where that story goes.
I think the rules state that.
That's what she told me. So if you're sleeping up here... No, so I was like, hey, so where do I go to the bathroom? And he's like, well, the only bathroom up here is attached to my mom's room. So he's like, make sure that she's not in there. And I'm like, all right, that bathroom's off limits. Like, I'm not
100%.
And then the other bathroom is downstairs. But if you're going to bed at 4:30 in the morning, she's up in 2 hours. So the first time I have to pee,
she's out the door.
All the bathrooms are kind of humped. Like, I don't have a good option. So I was like, I've got a brilliant plan. No water. That's what I started thinking. That was the plan I devised. Just don't drink any water. Then you won't have to pee. Which
That's good for a hangover.
It worked, but yeah, the next morning felt like absolute buttle.
Yeah.
It was brutal. But we had a lot of fun.
That sounds miserable, doesn't it?
Yeah. Why would you?
I don't know why
people.
Why
are you scared of an old lady?
I just hadn't seen her in 15 years.
She wouldn't remember, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and that's what I did piece that together later.
As you were dehydrated, pissing snot.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I just don't know why you feel that you're going to miss out if you go to bed at 2:30. I just don't know what happens from the 2:30 to 4:30 hour that
I lost that circuit in my brain years ago.
Me too. Yeah,
forever. But I don't understand the friends of mine that still do that.
I Marco Polo'd this motherfucker this morning talking about this stuff, and I'm like, I bet you're still. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock. It was 10 o'clock, I think. And I was like, bet you're still asleep. And he Marco Polo's me back from the bed. He's still in bed. I'm like,
yeah. Actually,
and you talked about this a couple weeks ago. Like your hours of awakeness are still the same. You're just backloading them.
I get the same amount of sleep
as
other people. I just stay up later and sleep in a little bit later. But this one was particularly rough because the guy I was staying with the first night, he works nights. So he doesn't start work until 11 o'clock at night.
Well, now I understand why you had to stay up late.
Yeah, so he was like the whole time. He's like,
what about the week before?
Yeah, well, there's that.
Well, I don't usually stay up till 5 in the morning. That's
like 3-ish.
2 is usually when I start thinking I should probably start shutting it down. And then hopefully there's nothing really good on TV because I'll set up for it. Someone gave me advice once. They said, if you're not willing to wake up early to do whatever it is you're doing, you shouldn't stay up late to keep doing it.
Yeah, you said that like 2 weeks ago.
And I was like, that's good advice. No, I have not
You've not
heeded
taken it, yeah.
No. But I do think about it as I sit there going,
As you turn on another Netflix movie at 2 a.m.
one more episode of Billions at 3 a.m.
Don't you forget the shit? Whenever I stay up that late, I forget whatever I'm watching. I have to go back.
It's rare that happens, but there has been times where I'm like, huh. Like you're watching the recap of the last episode, and you're like, whew, that's a bombshell.
I don't remember that.
You should probably go back and check that dude's dead? Shit. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you got to go back, but that's not often.
So the first night was on an air mattress. Where was the second night?
In a bed.
Oh,
in a
okay.
bed. And with my wife by my side for that second night. So that one worked out.
Nice.
I guess. That was a better situation. I was in Raleigh the whole weekend.
Did y'all have the kids with you?
My wife did.
That's an easy solution.
Yeah, she had the kids both nights. I peeled away for one night, hang with a buddy,
Nice.
and then made my way back, catch up with them. Which, dude, Raleigh. I think I've said this before on the podcast that I can't find a really good brewery in Raleigh, and I tried again, man, and I still can't find it. Like I just think that they've got average beer.
I think I've only hung out in Raleigh one time. It's just kind of like a nothing city. It's not really known for. There's other cool places around there you could go.
Well, it just sprawls out.
Yeah.
It's like there's
Part of the triangle, right?
Yeah, so it's just a whole big area with a lot of country in between, neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they got money and they've got some stuff. You pop into little parts, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is really nice, and then it's like, all right, get back on the road for their 5 minutes, and oh, okay, this area is nice, and then more country, and then it's just odd. It's spread out. But I can't find a brewery there, and I know I've asked the listeners to please send me in the direction of a good Raleigh brewery, and nobody has.
No avail.
Nobody has. And I went there again this time and tried a couple different breweries. This one brewery I went to, the lady's like, you like bourbon beers? And I was like, sure, let me try that. And I took a little taste, and I'm like, yeah, it's just a little heavy. And she's like, I agree. I cut it with this. The best beer I had in Raleigh is when the bartender had to pour 2 different beers in one cup.
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
And then I was like, okay, you got that right. Why don't you just brew that?
Yeah.
Like, that would be a good beer. So, yeah, the best beer had to be a concoction. And I found some other place that was dope, had bands and everything, and was live as shit. But there was one beer was so bad I handed it to my buddy. I was like, you can have that. And he took his sip of his beer and he goes, oh, this is awful. And I tried that, and we were both like, okay, we can drink the other one's beer, but that's the kind of shit that's going down in those breweries. You're having to trade beers.
Oh, we've gotten too far away from just drinking Miller Lite and Coors Light.
That's the other. You go to these breweries, they don't have anything like Miller Lite or Coors Light. It's like you walk. They're the kind of place you
Because
walk
our
in.
beer is better than that shit.
Yeah, they're like, what do you guys do? Oh, IPAs. Oh, what do you guys do? Stouts. It's like
Yeah.
they're not doing all the beers.
Right.
They're just like they pick a lane, they ride it.
Yeah, whether they're good or not.
Yeah. So they'll have 2 different styles of beer and then variations within it. Like, okay, you're really knocking it out of the park.
So
Riley.
y'all had a good time?
I actually had a blast. Yeah. I mean, I
Nice.
keep drinking. I know. It wasn't. It's like, this beer's bad. I'll have 3 more.
You're a professional.
You power through it. And then, I was talking to people. I'd run into people, and I'd be like, hey, can you tell me what the best brewery in town is? And they would inevitably mention a brewery I've already been to where I'm like, eh. Okay. So I just don't think they've got it,
Hometown pride.
unfortunately.
Damn.
So this is the vacation episode. Stu just got back from a pretty epic vacation.
Yeah.
Sure
You wanna-
seemed
you,
that
you
way.
want to tell us about it, Stu?
Oh man. Let's see here. Playa Mujeres.
Can you tell us
Yeah,
about
I
it?
definitely can tell you. It's Playa
Where's hedonism located these days?
Hedonism. This is
Yes.
the Secrets Playa Mujeres Golf Resort. It's about 40 minutes north of Cancun.
Playa means beach.
Ah, yes.
There we go.
And
See?
we are across from Isla Mujeres, which means
See? I speak Spanish.
island.
Oh,
Go
nice.
get the coolers. Hola. Adios.
Yep.
But
right.
yeah, so on the beer front, what was very unique there was seeing all these beers. There wasn't anything that was over, like Bud Lights, Coronas. Everything was 4.2 beer. There wasn't the 5% that you usually see. Like back in the States, I don't know what it was, and they had some beer that was like their version of Ultra. It was like a 3.2 beer, so it's like drinking water, staying
Because
hydrated all day.
you're staying on the beach all day. You want to keep your wits about you.
Well, that part of Mexico was discovered by the Mormons.
It was.
That's what everybody knows.
Everybody knows that.
Playa John Smith.
Yeah.
No, it was 6 months in the making. It was 10 couples, a bunch of couple high school buddies, a couple friends from neighborhoods, but one of those trips where I literally got my days just ran together. It was awesome. I called my daughter one time, which I thought was the right day, and I said, "Hey, when you get out," I texted her. I said, "Give me a call when you get out of school because I need to ask you a question." She's like, "Dad, it's Sunday."
Oh, wow. You were way off.
I'm home. I'm way off. But one of the things that I found, and maybe you guys
unacceptable because it's just like a few hours behind. It's not like you're.
No, it's not even. We're on the same time zone.
It's really bad. Dude. Okay.
I'm like, hey.
He wasn't 12 hours off. He wasn't 24 hours
It's not
off.
like he was in New Zealand.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh, I forgot.
But it was funny.
What day is it where you are? What time is it?
Exactly.
I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but for me, at a certain point, I was there for 8 days, but the entire time I'm there, literally at any time I wanted to, I could have a beverage, start drinking at any time, anywhere, any things, and didn't have a care in the world about it. And then after a while, I was like, man, it lost its luster. It's like kind of like going to a, it's like I imagine, it became background. I was like, oh, I need something different to do. Let me get an orange juice with nothing in it, or something, because everything after a while, it's like, I mean, granted, there were activities and things that we did, but I was like, man, I need to slow my roll, and I switched over to beer. I don't know.
8 day bender's a hell of a bender.
Yeah, it was.
I'm a long bender.
Yeah.
I think we were there. Got there Thursday, and I think Tuesday I was like, I just need a break.
So what kind of cool stuff did y'all do down there?
Well, the resort property, the endless pool, the beaches, the huts, all the swim up bars, all of that was fun. But the one thing
Did y'all have good weather?
Yeah, we did. We had awesome weather. It was about 82 degrees. The wind was not high. It was just like we got lucky. Even the staff that worked there was like, this is our good season because you come in about 3 months, it's gonna be hot as hell and the mosquitoes are out. But I think the highlight of the entire trip was we took this 9 of us rented this 45-foot yacht that had 2 heads on it, two beds, had the big front layout, 3 crew members.
I was gonna say somebody else had to operate that thing. Right?
Oh yeah, it was.
Clearly,
Captain
Stu's been on a 7-day bender. Hey, here's the keys.
Captain Miguel was pretty cool. Ruben, his first mate, was the guy who took care of us, and the customer service was amazing. But we were out from 9 to 6. I mean, 6-hour tour, 9 to 3. Fresh ceviche, fresh fruit. The guy that was the first mate was not he was also a chef, but he was just bouncing around, giving us beers. We decided to teach him how to do a Dr. Pepper
Flaming?
Flaming Dr. Pepper. He had never had one of those before, so we had that. But yeah, we went on a couple shipwrecks, did some snorkeling, turtles, went to the island across. I mean, just if this place is called M&M, or M&M Luxury Cruises, and they got the best
free plug.
Yeah.
That's a little known fact. I got a family member who's a boat captain for a rich guy, and he lives here, and then he'll fly down to Charleston and take the boat out, take the rich guy out and his friends out on the boat for 2 week stints, and I think it's him and a first mate.
Yeah.
So I always talk to him because it sounds awesome because you're fucking living a pirate's dream, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I'm the captain. He's like, but I'm also the waiter. I'm also the housekeeper. I'm all you're doing all the work.
So there was a guy the captain is the key, though. I mean, and I think this whole trip stemmed from the fact that my girlfriend had been watching a lot of that Below Deck, and she decided to try and do something similar to it. But the captain he just steered and told the guys what to do.
Yeah.
First mate was cooking and taking care of us, and then there was the deckhand, and he was the guy grunting and slaving and pulling out everything that needed to be done.
Well, my family member when they go out for 2 weeks, so they park it, and then it's you're waking up, you're washing the windows, you're doing all the work. When you're not operating the boat.
That doesn't sound that glamorous.
No,
and
you're busting your ass just working on.
You get paid well.
Yeah, I would hope so. But
yeah.
Have you heard any stories about the people who do that Are they kind of entitled douches, or is he run into good people?
I would assume that's a coin flip, right? Like there's got to
Just
be
like
great
anywhere
ones
else.
and
Yeah.
there's got to be assholes.
Well, this guy, they own 3 boats, 3 different sizes, and there were a couple from Britain that owned all 3 of boats, and they just rent them out, and they hire this company to captain them. But I do have to say that one of the best feelings was you're staying at this all-inclusive resort, and you kind of see people, and you recognize, because the marina was only 2 miles from where we stayed, and we had this whole trip planned. But everybody that was going to the resort was signing up with this aqua tour, get on a catamaran and go out for 3 hours.
Like real
And it's
commercials.
Yeah, it's real commercials. So we see some of these people, and they think we're walking with them. And they get on this huge catamaran because there's 80 or 40 to 60 people going on at the same time. And we just keep walking, and there's this just luxury lot. We just get yacht.
That's how it's done.
And this is how we're rolling. We rolled out, and that was the highlight. Mexico is awesome, and the water. What's crazy is, which I didn't realize, it's about a 4-mile stretch, not even, maybe 3-mile stretch from the beach to the Playa Mujeres, from Playa Mujeres to the island. This whole channel, it's not even deeper than 20 feet, and everywhere you go, the changes in the water, the colors, it's just amazing. I mean, there's amazing places everywhere. I mean, but this was just and I needed it. I kind of got away from it, but
you've had a rough few months.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah,
I think last vacation.
Yeah, it's good thing you got out there. Woo.
Well, I think from this, if I'm doing it right, I'll be headed to London for a few days.
And when do you leave for London? And like give me weeks or months. How long?
Well, from this podcast, from people who are listening, probably be 2 weeks from this.
I mean, this dude
lives a life.
This dude lives a hell of a life.
It's his world.
It took me 6 years hearing about cookout to even find my way to a cookout. This dude's like, oh yeah, I'll be in London. I just got back from Mexico.
On a side note, you know how those boat captains usually get paid? They get paid by the foot. So if your boat's 40 foot, you make $40,000 a year.
Really?
Yeah.
No matter how many, I think these guys were paid. Well, I will tell you this much: I'll give you this because I don't know exactly. Our 6-hour tour, we gave a $600 cash tip.
Yeah, we get it. You and your friends are ballers.
No, I'm
you
saying
got
it
a
was
dope yacht and went out.
But I think those guys get.
While everybody else went on a
split
head boat.
The tip. I mean, imagine the 3 guys split the tip, or the captain gets the luxury of it, and they split with the other guys. I don't know.
Well, you should have asked, man. That could have been a really shitty tip.
I don't know, but
Brendan would have given $1,200.
I'm immediately offended.
Yeah.
600.
Yeah.
Ew. Well, I guess they didn't show you a good time.
No, I mean that was everybody said that was those 3 guys: Ruben, Miguel, and unfortunately I can't remember the third deckhand because he seemed to be below deck all the time doing something.
That explains the tip.
And, but yeah, the customer service was amazing. Like we just you blink, they got it. Towels, snorkel gear, jumping. Where do you want to go? You go here. You go to the park. Just cruise.
You said you saw turtles, like you actually saw sea turtles?
Oh, yeah.
Like you were just snorkeling or scuba diving?
Snorkeling from the boat. I mean,
really?
Yeah, and what they were saying, because I'd gone swimming. I mean, I've been to Mexico before and gone into like a bay, a little reserve area, parked and gone snorkeling to see them where they would hang out.
Must have been back when you were poor.
An aquarium.
Bay?
No, it wasn't an aquarium. It was Half Moon Bay, like south Mexico. But, yeah, we were going out there, and all of a sudden the captain's like, look. And so we look, and the water, you can where the turtles hang out, there's usually vegetation and stuff, so you can't quite see them all the time because they go in and out of the grass.
Sure.
But you'd see this dark circle, like 15 feet down. You can't really tell until you see it, and they got you can see the fins. But some of them, I think we saw one turtle that's maybe not quite as long as this bar. We saw a couple more that were more like your regular size. I'd say 2-3 feet.
Damn.
Not to one up you, but I saw some pretty dope fish at Bass Pro the other day. So
really nice fish.
Yeah.
Really nice
Really
fish.
nice.
Sometimes I like to shake it up and go to Cabela's.
that's right. Yeah.
Look at their fish.
Yeah.
The best part was there was this old shipwreck from 1986, a trawler that had crashed, and they said they take you out there. See, there's cool little fish. They take leftover tortillas and they throw them in the water to bring the fish out. So when you jump in and you snorkel down, you can see all these fish. But what was funny is we anchored maybe 40 yards from the ship. They threw out a buoy, and we're facing the current, so the buoy floats back. not at a strong current, but it flows back towards the wreckage. And the captain says, and Reuben says, all right, see the buoy? Don't go past that buoy because that wreck, if it touches you, you're getting tetanus or something because it's so so rusted.
Oh, yeah.
We're taking you to the hospital. We don't want to be responsible for anything. And I'm like, yeah, that buoy's really going to stop us.
Yeah.
If you get – because you're not paying attention, the current
takes you,
but, But we had flippers on. I mean, it was a good time. I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, 8 days in Mexico.
No, you can't go wrong.
the
A
hell?
remote Mexican hospital with tetanus. I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
Translate,
Yeah, they're just gonna be. We're gonna take that leg.
But-
That's the path of least resistance here.
No, it was good. I mean, yeah, it was a 1. I'd go back to Mexico a lot, but I wouldn't go this high end all the time. But it was a 1. It took 6 months to organize. Imagine trying to get 10 couples for the same 8 days.
Sounds miserable.
To do something
Yeah, I mean,
between
I
schedules
assume,
and things like that.
I can't get 4 of my college buddies and their wives to hang out in town for one night. Like, I can't imagine trying to plan a vacation.
Yeah,
with that
10
many people.
couples is hard. And like, if I can get 10 guys together, and that's an act of Congress,
Mm-hmm.
and that's at least everyone has the same agenda. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go drink beer. We're gonna hang out. Go do this. But like the couples, not everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
People got different agendas. Like that would be a lot more difficult to pull off. And I'm assuming when you're in a situation
Well-
like that, people peel off. Like
Yeah. Well,
these two couples will go hit dinner together. And like
out of 8 days that we were there were 4 days where it was there was only 4 days where all 20 people were there. Some came early, some came late, some left early. But pulling something off like that, the wives and the girlfriends did one better. So the one night that we knew we were going to have all 20 of us there, we booked a dinner reservation at the Brazilian steakhouse on property.
best Brazilian steakhouses are in Mexico.
Everybody knows that. Yeah.
So we're all like, okay, so the place, you got to have khaki, you got to wear long pants. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to do khakis and
Go all the way to
and
Mexico and eat at Texas de Brazil.
That's exactly right.
The Mexican restaurant was closed, so on property.
All of them.
But this is the craziest thing. We have to go to dinner. Khakis. I'm putting flip flops on. I'm like, I got a golf shirt. I didn't bring a button down. What should I wear? And my girlfriend Erin just pulls out. She says, "Oh, I got you a shirt. I thought you might like it." Gives it to me, and it's this navy blue with white flower Hawaiian button down shirt. So
When in Mexico.
yeah, do it. I was like,
Hawaiian
okay.
shirt
I was like,
time.
this is perfect. I don't have a button down. I'll wear this Hawaiian shirt. It was cool material. I leave the room. We're walking down to dinner to meet at the bar before we go to the reservation. And my buddy from high school,
Oh, these women.
he
hoodwink.
comes up
Oh,
and
no.
he's like,
These-
I was like,
Twinsies.
dude, love the shirt. And he's like,
Oh, no.
where'd you get it from? I was like, I just need Aaron gave it to me. I just needed it. I had a shirt. We walk to the bar. There's two guys already playing pool, and then they turn around like, what are the coincidences? Literally, nobody. It just didn't dawn on us. And then
Those
the next
girls
thing,
set you up.
They said all
They set you
all
guys
10 of
up.
us up. They set all 10 of us up. So we look like this. And there's a picture of it's just the guys sitting together, and 10 of us, and then the ladies.
That's
they're
well
all dressed
done.
up.
I dig that.
And we were like, holy shit, they pulled it off, and we all just looked
Y'all
like
got
a wedding party.
outsmarted by all your women.
Yep.
And we were talking at the table. There's no way we could have pulled that off against the women, because if we all tried to get them the same dress or something, it'd be like, this doesn't look right. I don't like the
Do
feel
any of you
it.
even attempt to buy your wives clothes?
No,
Like,
hell no.
I don't
No.
remember like I'll buy my wife a T-shirt, like
Yeah.
if to sit around the house in. But like,
every Christmas, my wife would
Yeah.
be like, I want these shoes or this shirt and this
Yeah.
shirt. And I'm like, I don't know what size you are. I'm either going to offend you, piss
Yeah,
you off,
yeah.
or get it wrong. And
Right.
I've never once bought her clothes where she was like, fit perfect. Good call.
or I like it, or I like the style, or whatever.
Yeah, I've always had
Yeah.
to let me just get the receipt
Yeah.
because it's coming back.
Yep.
Hell, it was just the other day, the first time in my oldest daughter's, the first time in her life, my life with her, I went to a store blind, had to buy her some jeans for work that she needed, bought them, brought them back home. She came back from school. She tried them on. They fit. She liked them. Never heard another thing. Because you're just like, Dad, don't ever shop for me. Don't do anything.
That's
with
a
me.
bold move.
It's a real
I
bold
was like,
move.
she didn't
Buying
have
your
the time.
teenage daughter clothing.
It was the first time she accepted it. I was like, oh, I got it right. Because I walked in, there was a lady, and I said, my daughter's this size. I said, the last pair of jeans she owned said this size. She's 16. She's in high school, and she's working at this new place called Napa Kitchen and Wine. And she's like, oh, does she look like this? I was like, yeah, great. Those two pair of jeans. Let's go.
Why does she have you go buy her
If
pants?
she worked at Jiffy Lube, I'd give you different jeans.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. What? Brendan's got her some Dickies.
I would have.
Speaking of buying clothes, I went and bought some clothes the other day, and dude, this whole COVID thing has wrecked everything, man. Like, I don't like going anywhere and doing anything anymore because customer service is gone. Most places are, if they're open, are barely open anymore. So I went to Stu's Jam, and I like the place, Men's Warehouse. I needed a button-up shirt, dress shirt.
I do like Men's Warehouse too. That's
needed
easy
money.
Easy money.
I needed a pair of jeans, and I needed a tie. So I got there right when they opened. I got there early, and I was waiting for them to open. And I walked up right after 10 o'clock, and the door was locked. And on the door was a handwritten sign that said, "We're low staff today. Call this number or knock. Someone will be with you shortly." So I knock. I see a guy behind the counter, and I knock. He comes over. He opens the door. He's like, "Yeah, what can I help you with?" I'm like,
Clothes.
"I'm here to buy." I literally said, "I'm here to buy a bunch of stuff." He's like, "Oh, I got a customer in here right now, so just wait outside, and when I'm done with him, I'll come get you."
Is that a
This was recently?
This was recently, yes.
This doesn't
So
make
it's
any
not
sense.
This past week.
It's not a COVID numbers thing. It's a customer service thing.
So
It's Men's Warehouse.
So I
It's the
wait.
J.C. Penney of men's.
So I
clothes.
waited 20 minutes to get in the door. He lets the one guy out, lets me in. I go, "Short-staffed?" He's like, "Yeah, I had somebody call out, got sick or something." And I was like, "So you're just going to keep the door locked?" He's like, "Yeah, I can't have a bunch of people in here." And I'm thinking, but with 2 people in here, you can have 5 or 6 shoppers. Like,
And you know what most of us do? Don't want the sales rep walking around with us. We're going to go shop, and then we'll come and get you when we need you.
So I knew what I wanted, but I also wanted to shop. But because I saw people stacking up behind me, so then I was like, I didn't want to shop because I didn't want to inconvenience them, 'cause I knew how pissed I was standing out there.
Right.
So I literally was in there like 10 minutes, spent $180 on 3 items, and had to get let out. And I'm like,
That sucks.
And so I was like, "Somebody coming to help you?" He's like, "I don't care. I'll do this all day." And I'm like,
Yeah, 'cause
what a
you're the
shame,
ones
dude.
who have
Yeah,
to suck.
yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
his
I saw
day's
the-
easy. One dude at a time.
Yeah, because I would have. Now that I think about it, because I just went to dinner out with the family and my mom right before I came here, and the place we went to, great local place.
I'm sure it was high end.
No one too.
Midlothian chef.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Good stuff. But right when we walked in, there's a door that said, "Please be patient. We're with our service. We're low staffed." And sure enough, it took. I mean, it was well worth it. The food's always worth it, but it was definitely slow time.
I took the family the other day to IHOP at 11 o'clock to have lunch, and they were like, "It's a 45-minute wait." And then we went to Waffle House, and they said it was a 25-30-minute wait. So we just went home.
Speaking
Damn.
of those kind of places, like the IHOPs, the Waffle Houses of the world, there's all of these like higher end, air quotes, breakfast places opening up, and they're popping up
Yeah.
everywhere. And you
First
have to-
Watch.
Sure, Eggs Up Grill, all
Yeah,
these things,
yeah.
and they're like chains, and they're popping up, and it's supposed to be like an elevated breakfast experience. I don't get it.
Me either.
I'm going into these places, and I'm like, okay, let me get my elevated breakfast, and I'm like, still toast and eggs and bacon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm paying more
with some
for
fruit
breakfast.
Get it
shit.
because you're not at IHOP.
Yeah, but I think IHOP's just as good.
Except you're not going to IHOP.
No, because my wife was like, "Oh, I want to go here. I want to try this place."
You get it.
Yeah.
No, I
You're not
understand
going.
what
You're
you're
not going
getting
back to IHOP.
at. I've never gone back to those places. Each time I've been into one of those.
If you go to
once-
breakfast, you're going to go to one of those.
No, I'll go to Denny's.
No, you won't. Maybe by yourself.
I take the kids to Denny's all the time.
But the family's going to IHOP to the new place.
Oh, because my wife wants to get a mimosa. That's the only difference. They don't have booze in the IHOP or the Waffle House, but I think the food is every bit as good. I just don't understand the high-end breakfast place outside of the drinks.
I don't get it either. That First Watch place, I think, sucks.
It's just not awesome.
I'd rather go to Waffle House than any
Yeah.
of them.
Oh, yeah.
honestly. It's if you're into sloppy food or
Yeah.
if you're into
Well,
fancy shit.
Breakfast food is best simplified. Like
Yeah.
That's
hash browns,
kinda my point.
pancakes,
Yeah.
waffles, bacon, sausage. Like, that's breakfast. Like, you don't need to dress that shit up.
No, it's still breakfast.
Yeah.
But I like. There's a place that's out where Ely is, Maglio's, that does a brunch. That's pretty good food. They'll have like live music, and it's not really
Okay, but maybe you can gussy up the atmosphere and you can do
Yeah.
some other things. But I mean, it's like breakfast is breakfast. It's eggs. Eggs can be made 1,000 different ways.
I mean, yes and
it's-
no, but there's also ways to make it better. Like some chef could put some cool shit in it that you've never had before.
I'm sure that's possible. I just find that it's not worth the extra money for me because I would rather just have a breakfast sandwich.
Right.
Maybe
I
I'm
mean,
just not
I
a
hear
fancy man.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm just, it's this. I mean, you could have this conversation about anything, any type of food. I'd rather, why not just eat at McDonald's instead of getting a burger somewhere else?
Because their burgers suck.
Right.
Well, there's that.
But you can't tell me Waffle House's eggs suck. They're good. I think there's less of a gap between a
People will
McDonald's
tell
burger.
you McDonald's burgers are good, though.
I think there's a larger gap between a good burger place and a shitty burger place.
But wouldn't you say
I don't
just-
think the gap is as wide.
Is anyone going to
between a
tell you
Waffle
any
House and a
fast food
high-end-
burger is better than any standard
Yes. For
like
sure.
diner burger?
For sure.
Oh, there's a
Do
lot
you
of
think
people
that?
out there.
Hell no.
Yeah,
No.
okay. But
No, there's
the dummies would tell you that is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
the
when you
people,
get
that's
in
what they live
rural
on.
America,
Yeah.
you live on
Yes.
Hardee's. Like
Yeah.
you got your spot. Like that's the place. Your grandfather
Yeah.
gets his coffee there.
Yeah, I know people that are like that. That are like, you can go give them a, burger batch or Bach or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck it is, and they're like, "That's gross." And you're like, that's because you've been eating McDonald's your whole fucking
Yeah.
life, and that's what you're expecting everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
you have,
when you have
fucked
op-
your taste buds up.
when you have
Right.
options. Like I mean, when you have as many food options as we have right here where we live, I guess what it boils down to Brendan's point would be, or I would say, is what style do you want? Do you want I can make this breakfast anywhere like an IHOP or a Waffle House, or do I want to go to the style that's going to be because fast food's a style burger, Burger Batch is a style burger, a diner's a different type of burger. Those are 4 different options.
But
of
to
burgers,
Brendan's point, like you go to Joe's Inn and they have a great breakfast buffet, and their omelets are made the same way that Waffle House's omelets are made. Like they're still omelets.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
they're
I-
still
that's a
delicious.
style.
The
I get-
difference comes down to potatoes more often than not.
Yeah, except like for example, the egg and I, they'd have a huevos, whatever
Rancheros.
it was, rancheros that had like,
Oh, now you see, you
some-
might have just
a tortilla with
You-
some
Yeah.
over
a
easy
huevos
eggs
rancheros is
with some
dope.
fucking, what's the
but
sausage?
you can't even get
Chorizo
that.
would be in
Chorizo
it.
Yeah, you
sausage.
can't even get that with at a Waffle House.
That's my point.
Yeah.
No,
That's
and
why
I'm
these
starting to see what
higher
you're.
end places are like. We put our twist on it that puts we put beans underneath the bottom first.
Yeah.
Then we put the runny egg, and then we put the fucking tortilla or the waffle on top. So we
Yeah.
make it chicken and waffles, and there's eggs underneath. And you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I've never thought of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe I'm seeing what you're saying because
if you
there
just
are
want a
some
sandwich,
places.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's places though.
But you can still get the Fiesta omelet at Waffle House.
Yeah, but there is a huevos rancheros is probably that's actually a good barometer.
Waffle
for
House
where it
is taking
changes.
out the fucking paste picante and dumping it in the bowl real quick. That's what they're doing to make your
Get a rope.
yeah. You get it.
New York City.
But I guess that's the difference then. There's all these high-end places that still mostly just have the standard breakfast fare.
I like my breakfast food diner style. Like that's what I want.
I guess those are the places I'm upset about, though, is the place that's high-end prices that's still just serving a basic-ass breakfast. They're not doing a huevos rancheros. They're just like, we have pancakes.
Yeah, there's a place that
we have waffles.
serves
Yeah.
$1 million bacon. It's 5 strips with a little bit of drizzled syrup.
Oh, I've had it, and it was not worth it.
Right.
In any way,
I'm like,
shape, or
it's-
form.
No, I've
I'm
had it
paying
too.
what?
Who is
That
this?
is
Where is this place?
It's actually First Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's first
Yeah.
watch.
And they have $1 million bacon, and it is like, it costs twice as much as your bacon should, and it tastes like maple bacon.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
candied or whatever.
Yeah,
And
a
you're
little
like,
drizzle.
okay.
I mean-
It actually isn't that good.
if you're eating bacon and you're not putting your syrup on the bacon anyway, that's on you for fucking up.
Right.
Yeah. The best
at
breakfast
least
places
give me
that
the
you
option.
go the
I'll
best
do
it. Yeah.
the best breakfast places you go to are when you sit down and you look up and you can see the ring of smoke circle in the ceiling.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you're like a Chesterfield diner or
Yeah.
or in those
My
diner
waitress
places, like-
doesn't walk up to me smelling a little bit like cigarettes and coffee. I don't even
Yeah.
want to be there.
Yeah, if
Like, I'm disappointed.
if there's no ding, pick it up. I don't want it.
Yeah, if I don't hear a bell in the distance every so often,
Yeah.
I hear people screaming a language I don't understand.
I like watching the dude with his back to you just going to town cooking for 100 people and not missing a beat the entire time.
That's what I'm talking. There's 2 scattered,
Now I do.
3, 4.
I do.
They're
Yeah, those
throwing
guys at
out
Waffle
words.
House. The guys at the Waffle House guys got to have a memory and a half.
I will say though, I do like going to some other restaurants that have some weird bowl with like hash browns on the
A
bottom
mess.
first, with some
Yeah.
sausage gravy in the middle, and then the 2 fried eggs on the top.
Yeah,
And you're
that's
like,
a little
"Oh,
different,
That's
though."
what I'm talking. Yeah, the
Yeah.
mess.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
That's the mess. It's
Yeah,
the best,
something
man.
like that. I'm like, ooh, you got me.
But I guess we've got 2 of these places right around here that are serving high-end breakfast. And I go in there and I'm like, honey, what are we doing? Like,
It's just breakfast.
it's just breakfast. They don't
I
have
do
a
think
mess.
certain places mess up. They don't do the mess because they're also trying to dance the line of we want the healthy yuppie in here too.
Yeah.
so you're
Of
going to get your
course.
slice of avocado with your 2 eggs, and that's why we're different.
Well, isn't that
Yeah,
isn't that
that's
what it
basically
is.
it. And then they're
Yeah.
like, we have juices.
Yeah,
Like, okay, I'll take orange.
right. Yeah,
isn't that the first watch like angle? Like they're like
Basically.
our
Yeah.
eggs are range free, and it's like I just want to eat some eggs.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
They
mean,
show
I
you a picture of the fucking. This is the chicken that hatched your egg. Oh,
Right.
thank you. That's
Henry,
glorious.
this is Henry.
yeah,
Yeah, like,
Started his life as a chick in Guatemala.
look at the smile on Henry's
Yeah.
face. That's not a smile.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate though. Is when you do get to the healthy side of things, if you do want to eat healthy, they're going to charge you an arm and a leg for it. And then like with my youngest, who's she has to be gluten free. They can make gluten free pancakes there that taste amazing. Am I going to get them at Waffle House? No, which sucks. But I mean,
Yeah.
I just prefer Waffle House. I don't know. This has been
Yeah.
Is Waffle House the best?
Huddle House.
Waffle House is certainly better than IHOP,
yes,
but there is something about a Denny's that I love.
I do love it.
I'm a sucker for a buffet, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
So where is your like generic ass buffet? Like something I can find anywhere in the States.
Shoney's had
No.
a good buffet
Yeah.
back in the
Shoney's,
That's
day.
what I
dude.
was thinking of.
Or
I mean, Joe's Inn on Sunday.
Joe's
right?
Inn,
But I'm
yeah.
saying that's local. Like I'm
Yeah.
talking
Denny's
there's-
is not local. I mean, Shoney's wasn't
But
local.
Denny's doesn't
No,
have
that's what
a-
I'm saying. That's what I'm
Denny's doesn't
thinking.
have
Saying
a
Joe's
Denny's
doesn't
doesn't
count.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But I think Waffle House
Waffle
is
House is the
probably
one.
my jam. Like I love
Cracker Barrel's pretty dope
Oh
too.
yeah,
Their biscuits are fire.
yeah.
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 I don't know.
IHOP, I found out, puts a little bit of cake batter in their scrambled eggs and their pancakes to make them fluffy.
Interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. There's just something about
Would you like some
Waffle
diabetes
House.
with your diabetes?
Waffle
There is
House
something
is
about a Waffle House. I
You
love
know?
Waffle House.
Is there's
man.
the smell
Yeah.
in the air, how quickly they're moving, they're screaming out all the stuff
yeah.
that's happened. I just dig it, and I think I'm just a big fan of the way they're.
If you're ever downtown, City Diner's real good for
Yeah.
breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
That place is fire.
but again, it's a diner.
Yeah.
like we're doing standard
Yeah.
breakfast. They're just doing a good.
And then there
Breakfast.
was Third Street Diner at 3 a.m.
That
So
always
every town has one of those. There's that
Yeah.
diner downtown that's open late
24/7.
and also opens. It's super early, and so the drunks can get in. You know, at like
I've had
6
first call
a.m.
at 6 a.m. at Third Street for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what makes it great when the real degenerates get
Yep.
to roll in at 6 when they haven't been served a beer in 4 hours. They've had
I had a job bar backing at a bar on 18th Street in college called Icons, and we'd shut that thing down at 2, and we'd clean and drink, and then walk up to Third Street Diner and start drinking again.
and
at
every
6
town
o'clock.
has one. Like that's not.
Yeah.
You know, you can find it in any city. You just
Yeah.
have to know. Like
We had Silver Diner in Woodbridge.
yeah, and silver
yeah.
diners were. Well, are they 24 hours? Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like they
At
were
least they
because
were.
I've certainly been in a silver diner in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Like when I shouldn't be. I've also developed a little trick where I'll roll into a Denny's after hours and bring airplane bottles, and I'll literally just sit there and just order Cokes and just like make
Just
mixed drinks and
go
like, just
all
ride
day long,
just
hardcore.
ride in. I've been with Troy when he's seen me do
Oh,
that
yeah.
in the middle of the night. Like I pull an airplane bottle out of my pocket, order a Coke. He's like, "Oh, that's pretty smart."
Yeah,
The baller move when I was in high school was we had season passes to Kings of Men, and we go there all the time because it was so close. But you couldn't afford to eat inside the park.
Yeah, it's
But
an
there-
amusement park for those out of the
Yeah,
area.
so there's a shuttle that would take you to the Best Western, and which was right next to the park, and they had a Denny's, and you could catch a shuttle over there and eat at
Nice.
Denny's, for $8, You felt like you were a baller because you were in high school sitting down at a restaurant without your parents, just you and your buddies,
Right.
cutting it up, having a good old time, and then you go back into the park.
That's not bad. Give you that
Did a
one.
re-entry.
Get your hand stamped and go right back in.
Man.
Living the dream. Man, I want some Waffle House now.
Yeah, me too.
Like, that
Oh.
sounds really
I thought my
good.
head was going to explode after we went to IHOP and Waffle House. I couldn't get in. The wife was there and the kids were there, and she'd met us there because she'd been out shopping. We'd been at the the trampoline park, and after the Waffle House, it was just the second stop. She pulled up, and I was coming out, and I was like, "I'm going home," and and my youngest son, who had ridden with me, was walking to the car with me and turned and just got in her car because he could sense the anger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you know who I don't want to ride with? This hungry ass motherfucker who's been turned away from 2 restaurants.
We tried to go to Cracker Barrel this morning, and we pull up, and there's all these old motherfuckers rocking on the chairs out front. And I'm like, oh,
It was
shit.
fucking 22 degrees this
yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
That don't keep them away from
Not
their
a good
trinkets.
sign when everyone's out on
Rocking.
the chairs. You're
Yeah,
like, dang
like,
it.
oh, this isn't gonna work. It was an hour. We were like, yeah, we'll leave. Take care.
They have a great plan though, because they always set up. They're
The
only
shop.
set up by they have the shop, but they're only by interstates. They're not
Yeah.
inland anywhere. They're only
Right.
by interstates.
Yeah, that's by design.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're so nice though. You like enjoy being in there.
Oh yeah,
You always play that peg game where you have to jump them and
Yeah.
try to get-
always.
And man, there was a time in my life where I understood that game very well.
Yeah, I
and
know how to
could
beat
win
it back in the day.
Now I can't do it.
Figure it
Like,
out.
I can't. But I used to have it down. Like I owned one. I would sit there in my room, tick 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 tick.
Well, see,
got it.
I remember growing up and going back down to Baton Rouge all the time on spring break with my parents.
Spring break.
Because, and they would plan their trip, and we wouldn't exit anywhere that didn't have a Cracker Barrel or a Waffle House. It's like, you're on this long 2-day road trip, Atlanta's halfway, and that was like the go-to was a Cracker Barrel.
Well, if
You'd
you go
stop
down if you go down that route, there's a Waffle House every exit. So
True.
you're golden.
I got a big road trip coming up for spring break, and now that I'm thinking about this, I'm going to a Waffle House. Like I'm excited. Maybe do a Cracker Barrel. Maybe mix it up.
And Cracker Barrel does the we used to, I mean, this is still back, I don't even know if they do it now, but you could pick up a tape or an audio or a CD or a movie at one Waffle House, watch it, and drop it
Cracker
off
Barrel,
at,
you
I
mean?
mean Cracker Barrel, and watch it at the next, and drop it off at the next Cracker
I've
Barrel.
never even heard of that.
Yeah.
So it's like a Blockbuster.
Yeah. On wheels.
This is what
You're
no,
like, I need the apple dumpling game.
This
That
is-
bitch is 3 states over right now.
Exactly.
it should be coming back.
Them soggy
to tomorrow.
bottom boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was, my mom was all about it. She'd get some tapes.
So you'd get a tape or a CD. It's not like a VHS tape or something.
Well,
'Cause you had
I
to
think
have
the
that-
last time I remember seeing it was for my kids when 10, 15 years ago when we were in a minivan and we got
Goddamn carnies over here.
got
Most
a
normal people
DVD.
will drop it off at the same Cracker Barrel. Like, no,
if
we
you-
go to the
yeah,
same
yeah,
one
'cause-
because it's near our house.
Yeah.
This carny over here is like,
Yeah.
let's go. We're going to drop it off at the one down.
If you really
2 towns over.
if you dissect Stu, you could hear how far he's come in his life.
Oh, yeah.
You know, earlier he was like, "Yes, we're on this yacht, right?" We had to walk past all these schlubs who just got to go in a catamaran, and
On
we
the
thought
head boat. All the poor folk.
we got on with Captain Miguel, who was like, chopping mangoes.
Now he's talking about traveling in a
softest
conversion
hands.
van.
Yeah, and now he's like, "Oh yeah, we used to have to slum it in a Cracker Barrel, and we would have to rent CDs because we couldn't afford them, just so we could hear Dolly Parton's greatest hits for another 2 hours before we got to the
Yeah.
other Cracker Barrel."
I guess the internet destroyed that plan from a Cracker Barrel standpoint.
Stu, you've had a life, man. You've had a life.
From the back hills of West Virginia to the bayous of Louisiana to the
Yep.
50-foot yachts in Mexico.
Yeah, down to the playa.
That's right.
I got a van down by the river.
Oh, well done. No more eating crawfish for this.
Right.
Let's go do some shrimp boating. Yeah, you got any? So, are you doing anything? Spring break.
Yeah,
wise?
spring break. We're not doing much. We're going down to my sister's house down in Virginia Beach and living it up for a few days. That's the extent of my trip. I'm not going to Mexico or anything. Got a big trip to Cooperstown with the family, going up to Cooperstown, New York, to play in a big baseball tournament with 65 teams.
Cooperstown be dope.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
That'd be good.
Look
So what do we got
we've
here?
got here? We've got a deli.
Oh no.
It's the Yingling Racing Eagle.
Or raging.
Yeah.
Raging Eagle.
I think it would be to Ely's point, raging.
I thought the G was silent.
Ray. What is that then?
Ring.
That's got a weird funk smell to it.
Let's see
That
here.
does. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It smells like
Like a sock?
kind of like sick diarrhea.
Which is actually my favorite tasting note. After a weekend in Raleigh, I could go for some diarrhea beer.
Smells
Are
like
there cups anywhere?
smells like
Some over
yeah, I
there.
see some.
smells like fresh mulch.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. You know, Yingling, they do one thing well,
Oh,
and
it's
that's
mango.
Yingling.
Yeah, that is their.
And it's got a very distinct flavor to
Yeah.
it, Yingling.
Wow.
Even when we tried the Yingling Flight on here, and that didn't go super well. So now we're going to try the Raging Eagle. Boy, I really all along thought it said Racing Eagle because it looks so freaking fast.
Raging Eagle,
But now that I look
Eagle
at it, it does look
Mango.
raging too.
6% beer with natural mango flavor.
Woo!
I don't know if I want to even try this.
Oh, you do.
What do we get? This
Get
is-
that in your mouth because you know what it tastes like? The smell.
So did this come out of a 12-pack or something?
It did. So I have a bunch of
Out of a
these.
sock.
6%?
That is.
Raging Eagle.
I'm not a big mango flavor.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that. This isn't.
Hey.
This is mango
Hey.
adjacent.
Yeah.
This is,
You don't think this is natural mango?
Well, you know, Pottstown, Pennsylvania is known for their mangoes.
Yeah, what? 60% of all mangoes come out of there?
Yeah, I heard it's gone up. Wow, that's a tasty beer. Ely, I bet you're psyched that you didn't grab a cup.
Sometimes I wonder if they like fuck a beer up and then just go with it. They're just like they made a whole fucking pot of it and they're just like,
I think
what can we
that's
call this?
I think that's the Yingling way. I mean, there was a time there where Yingling was absolutely dying on the vine, and technically, I think it's still our oldest brewery. That's still
It
in
is. How?
production.
But how do they survive?
Pottstown, Pottsville.
They
Pottstown,
survived
PA.
a long time ago because it was really big at Penn State because it was right around the corner, so it was like super cheap.
Oh, all the child molesters like it.
Boy, that's a Sandusky bomb out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So everybody would drink this there because it was the cheap beer, didn't have to go far. And so it had a huge following of people who left Penn State. And so every year you get 50,000 more people who are drinking.
I think they jumped on the marketing thing with the whole America's oldest brewery, and then people would see that and be like, "Well, that's cool."
Well, that's because some guys
Must be
from Penn
good.
State, it was folding. And then some guys who had graduated Penn State who had some money were like, "No, we're going to revive it." And they went because apparently the river that they pull this water out of at one time was like the most polluted river in
I believe that.
the country, and then that gave it a bad name because outside of the area, it's like buying bottled water from Flint, Michigan. Like everyone else in the country knows. I don't know that I want that,
Yeah.
and so people were like, "Nah, I don't like that." But then these guys moved in and saved it. They bought it and put a lot of marketing dollars behind it, and really started pushing it hard with the Penn State people, and it kind of blew up.
It's really crazy that marketing dollars have the effect that they do on any and everything.
Done properly, there's nothing better you could do. Because why fix your product when you could just make it cool?
Like, you could have a great, whatever, let's say movie, never market it, it will suck. You could have a $200 million bomb, drop another $200 million in marketing, and still make money.
You should.
Isn't that how IPAs became a thing?
Somebody
Yeah,
marketed it.
A little bit.
I don't. You know, that's a great question. Did marketing,
Does
or did local local pride take over? Like every brewery that popped up, no one wanted to be like, "Oh, our new local brewery sucks."
I mean, for a long time there, it was Sierra Nevada was the only pale
Yeah.
ale that was readily available. So people would get. So maybe it was Sierra Nevada that screwed us.
Yeah, who was the what's it called? The Contagion #1 guy who was like
Patient Zero.
Patient Zero,
Yeah.
who tasted the first IPA and was like, "I really like this beer," and then his buddy was like, oh, this guy likes it. Yeah, I like it too. And then
Yeah.
It was some really influential, really cool ass dude.
Like Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. There we go.
That,
I don't know where that came from.
Left field.
Yeah, I
let's just
see.
try this out for size.
Oh, Stu's gonna do some research. You're looking for patient.
I'm trying.
zero.
There's the reviews are like stellar, but not in the way you think. There's like not a whole lot of stars.
people still take pride in saying, I'm an IPA guy. I'm like, really?
This weekend in Raleigh, that's what I kept hearing from these people. Have you tried this brewery? Great IPA. I'm like, I have. Not very good.
No.
Not very good. Yeah, I wasn't making a lot of friends with like the Raleigh folk because I kept waiting for them. I'd be like, yeah, I've had that one. Yeah, I've had that one. Maybe I think there's something in the water there. That's the only reason I could think that all of them are a little softer than they should be, not as good as they should be. Who knows?
Who wants to go first on this?
I'll go first. I like this beer quite a bit.
This dude loves a fruity beer, man.
I do. It's very similar to the last one that I tried. That had some fruitiness to it. Doesn't necessarily taste like 6% to me.
That it doesn't. It doesn't
That's
taste like
true.
a strong beer at all.
I like the flavor. It's not too harsh. I would give it a on the 3.5 fence there. Give it one more hit, make sure.
Yep. Go
That's
in.
how
get
you
that-
got to do it.
You've narrowed it to 3 to 3.5. Now you got to find out if it's worthy of
Yeah,
the
I
other.
mean, I
point.
like that beer. I mean, I'm gonna go 3.5.
Okay, we got a 3.5 for the Mango Raging or Racing Eagle, depending on your eyesight.
I was going to say, depending on what. It's raging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I see that now, but
depending
I,
on whether you're Brendan or everyone else.
yeah, no, my eyes are getting like
Depending on if you read at a second grade level
Yeah.
or you're an adult.
Right.
Yeah.
So all the second graders and Brendan.
you would love to pick up the Racing Eagle.
Yeah, so per Yingling's website, 172 calories, 6% alcohol, and they're like, this pleasant mango and aroma pairs well with fish
Mangoes.
tacos, pad thai, and spicy wings.
Who
Boy,
fucking pairs a canned beer with something? Like, you're fucking drinking
What beer
a beer.
doesn't pair with spicy wings? Can you
Yeah,
name one?
yeah.
Yeah, it is
Right.
it is the ultimate thing to drink beer with.
Yeah.
Like, damn, my mouth's on fire. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to have a beer.
Right.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I wish they had like some information behind why.
I'm
they
never
went
like,
with
what
the-
beer am I drinking and what am I gonna eat with it?
Yeah.
I must
would go
pair
with
it
this?
Yeah. What would go best with this beer I'm drinking right now?
Yeah.
Food?
Right.
Like
I just want to get as many in my stomach as possible, so
Yeah.
you're tolerable.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'll give you this much: the eagle on the can is pretty cool. Raging Eagle, you think that this is going to be something cool. It's going to come off great.
Honestly, the
And-
eagle on there is like tattoo worthy.
Yeah, so it's really cool. The name Yingling, Raging Eagle, and then all of a sudden, mango. This loses it for me.
Yeah, it's badass
Yeah, the
and a little
mango-
fruity.
The mango's not what you think of when you think of. I mean, this motherfucker's got.
What you
talons
wanted to
out.
say, razor blades?
Or nothing, actually, just
Yeah, it
Raging
tastes
Eagle.
like burning.
Yeah.
You know.
Raging Eagle, piss
fruity,
and vinegar.
fruity eagle.
Yeah,
Mango.
Fruity Eagle.
Have you guys tried the Racing Eagle?
Oh, I hear it's
Should have been the
delicious.
Raging Hummingbird.
Yeah,
Right. Ooh. I'm gonna shake this tree and get me a mango.
Yeah. Red eyes, pointy ass beak.
Angry as hell.
Uh-huh.
All right, Stu, you gonna- Stu, I think
raging
you're ready.
red-breasted.
I like I like the
Thrush.
fact that I think they're using the mango to hide the 6% because I think at most 6% beer you're going to taste a little something of the alcohol content. But the marketing is kind of cool. The colors are great, but as a flavored beer, I would say I would want almost a little bit more fruit flavor. I just can't taste it.
Wow.
So I'm going to go. I'll give it a 2.5. It's just, I would say for what I was expecting, it's underwhelming. I think the one redeeming quality it's got is if you want just a crisp beer that I can't
You
taste a whole
almost
lot
said
of
it.
mango.
You almost said it, didn't you?
Crushable.
Did you
but
say
it's 6
crushable?
It's 6%, and I'm like, okay, I can drink a couple of these to get a few buzzes on. But yeah, it's not. I'm not looking for this. I'm not seeking this beer out. So I'll go
2.5.
2.5.
All right, I'll go next.
Okay.
Because I'm curious to what Brendan's gonna say. This beer tastes better than how we've talked about it. We kind of trash it. The smell is kind of weird. It's got a weird, funky smell.
It is a little Jim Saki.
The taste, to Stu's point, is a little underwhelming. It's not bad. It's just not. It's really kind of. It's crisp. It's clean. It's not as overly fruity as you would think a mango beer would be. It's a subtle mango. It's not a forward mango. And it's not, to me, it's not good or bad. It's a 2.5. Like, it's just meh. It's just right down the line. Like, I'd drink one if you had it. I wouldn't not drink it. I wouldn't recommend it per se. I wouldn't seek it out. So I'm going to go 2.5.
All right, so we have a 2.5, a 3.5, and a 2.5.
Yeah.
All right, so I would have to give it a 5 to take it up. This is kind of a tough beer for me. I do like that it's crisp. It's good. It's easy drinking. If you're looking for a fruity beer, this is perfectly fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with this beer. The strange thing about this beer to me is all Yinglings, whether it's their super light beer, Yingling Light, any of the Yinglings.
Yingling Flight.
Yeah, the Flight is the super light one.
Yep.
They even do like a black and tan. They all actually still have this little hint of Yingling. Like there's something about a Yingling that tastes like a Yingling.
Like they're all made with Yingling and then like flavored later.
It's just I've always gotten that vibe. Like I can identify a Yingling pretty easily whenever I have it. This one has lost the Yingling. There's nothing in there that lets me know this is a Yingling. This is a mango beer, like for sure. And mango beers are hard to get right. The best one that we've had was there was one out of that brewery. The three, was it Goose Island? The one the brewer had lost his taste.
Yep.
He had cancer and he'd lost his taste, and he did a mango beer, and it came out so well. So to me, that was, and I wish I could remember the name of that particular beer. If I saw it, I would. It has something to do with taste, losing your taste,
right.
gaining it back. That I think is about the perfect mango beer, personally. This one does a pretty good job. It's a pretty fair approximation. It's got good mango flavor. I actually think it's too mango-y, which is funny because both of you said it
Lost palate.
Lost palate. There it is. That's a tasty mango beer. And I think that was mango and cinnamon, though, is what they did.
Yeah.
And it made it really excellent.
It helped him get his taste back, right?
Right.
It was the only thing he could taste was cinnamon and mangoes. So they were like, then let's just make a cinnamon mango beer for our guy. And it was excellent. This beer, to me, I find it dancing between 2.5 and 3. So I'm going to do an Ely and take a sip.
Yeah, that's where I was going, but still going 2.5.
I think if you want a fruity beer, a mango-y beer, I might go. I could give it a 3.
Is that your final score?
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I don't want this beer again, which means 2.5. Like, I like the flavor, but like I just don't want another one. I'm gonna go 2.5. Right down the middle. It's a good flavor. There's nothing disagreeable about it.
I mean,
2.75.
Yeah, that's probably about right for the Racing Eagle.
Just above, slightly above average.
Yeah.
The Raging Eagle by Yingling. Doesn't have enough Yingling.
Please make up your mind.
I already did. It was 2.5.
Racing.
Oh, I'm going to say them both because I have failed.
Because you can't figure it out?
No, because now I've already stepped in shit. There's no denying
staying
there's
with
shit
it.
on my shoe.
I got you.
He's going down with the ship.
Smearing it, right.
That's exactly right. So I'm just going to Racing Eagle your floor. That's basically
Cool.
it. Yeah. It's your couch. Put these shit shoes all over your couch.
Fuck your couch.
That's right. That's about right.
I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't give that more than 2.5. This is good stuff for what it is, maybe, but it's
There you go. Now we know. Thanks for that.
blah.
Stu,
blah.
Stu brought it
I'm just
home.
like, hey, I'm like,
Stu coming home strong.
Stu brought it home.
I just got nothing on this.
His
thing.
brain's still on vacation.
That's
Yeah,
for
so-
sure. That's
so-
for sure.
Troy, you were talking about you are going to Cooperstown now?
And yeah, that's in June. That's my next big vacation. Of course, we haven't been on vacation in years. I mean,
Well, you
especially
got the
we got
lake
the
house.
lake spot, so I mean that kind of negates it. But I would like to go somewhere again, especially like Stu over here, go down to the Caribbean sometime and live it up.
Yeah, well, I got this trip to Florida coming up. Well, for spring break.
Nice.
No.
Pretty excited about that one. but
Panama City.
I wish. I wish.
Do you?
Yeah, my memories of Panama City are all pretty positive.
Yeah, but you would be the weird guy now.
That's true. When I was there, I was just one of the rabble,
Yeah,
which is exactly how you want to do it.
for
You know?
sure.
And I was a lot closer to Stu in his Louisiana days than Stu in his Mexico days. I remember I had very little money
Oh yeah.
as I was walking through Panama City, and like, if they were willing to give a credit card or something outside, get a T-shirt, that's the T-shirt I'm wearing the rest of the week. And I would take that credit card, and I'm going to run up to that $500 limit, all on booze.
Right.
I went on a cruise and ended up in Mexico when I was 21 with some fraternity brothers, and I was so broke. I was trying to pawn a watch off at like a fucking Senior Frogs to get some like 3 free yards of beer or something. Like,
Did you
I
pull it
was
off?
broke. No, because I was being stingy. But like, I was broke as shit on this cruise. Like, if it wasn't on that boat and covered under my cruise, I was like, I didn't have any money.
I tried to sell the soap out of a hotel once.
Nice.
Like the actual soap.
Yeah.
And I went out on the boardwalk and started trying to hawk it, saying it was handmade by Tibetan monks. And because all I could see was on the back of it, it looked like a monk kind of like graphic that was on it, and I was like, "This is believable."
Yeah,
This
but it
is-
was the size of a
Yeah,
it was
and
a
it
little
fucking
one.
says
And wrapped
Holiday
in
Inn.
paper.
Yeah,
And rectangle.
I was trying to sell this handmade Tibetan monk soap, and the cops busted me and took me aside.
Would you have like 10? You have
Took
one
all your
bar of
soap
it?
and sold it for themselves.
took all my fucking soap? Yeah.
And they're all rich and retired now.
They had quite the party
exactly.
that night. Took my soap, went
Yeah.
back to their place,
Snorted
lathered
it.
up. Yeah, exactly. They
Hoovered
did all
it.
my soap.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I'll never
That's too
forget
funny.
that. The cops were like, "Do you have a permit for that?" And I was like, "Zoinks! Like this is a problem." For some reason,
yeah.
it just in my mind, why can't I? It's America.
Yeah,
Why can't I take the soap from the hotel?
Or why would you question a monk?
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was-
Did
and
you
I,
have a bunch of soap or one soap?
I had enough soap that I thought I could make a few bucks and probably get my hands on some beer.
Yeah.
Imagine if I'd ever got into like real drugs.
You
You know what I mean? Like I would have been a nightmare.
Yeah,
Fortunately, just beer, you could get that some other time. You know, it's doable. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Real drugs, I would have been selling more than soap or
Yeah.
stealing more than soap.
for sure.
But I figured we'd already paid for the place. This is my soap to sell.
Yeah.
If I want to smell, then that's fine.
I
That's
got
on
a
me.
toiletry bag full of little shampoos and soaps to this day.
It's gonna make. I do actually.
Take 'em
Every
all.
hotel.
Oh, yeah.
I take them and
Yep.
all the time. Like the girls would be like, "I don't have conditioner," and I'd be like,
Right here.
I'd pull it out and be like, "Boom! You want Paul Mitchell? You want
Yeah.
Avida?
You want
Like,
Fairfield Inn courtyard?
Yeah.
Right.
This weekend I was at
Hojo.
someone's house and like they
Super
had.
8.
I
That
went,
shit all smells the same. Like if you
Oh,
if
yeah.
you smell
Yes.
a motherfucker with that shit on them, you're
Yeah.
like hoteled up, motherfucker.
I was in a house this weekend. They had a
Packaged differently. Like
Yeah.
one's
they had
fancy.
they had the bar of soap sitting there, and there was like hair on it, but I'd never showered there before, so I was like,
Grr.
like that's not my hair. I was like, I can't use that. Sure enough, I went to my bag, and there was a Holiday Inn soap. They don't even try, or it was Quality Inn.
Yeah.
When you're buying a room at that kind of place, they don't even try to Tibetan monk that shit.
Yeah.
It just said Quality Inn soap.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, that is the perfect soap for what I'm trying to do right now.
So in Mexico, I had somebody had given me a while back a free sampler of this Axe. You know, Axe makes the 3-in-1 soap, and it was labeled anti-hangover 3-in-1 soap.
Shut
That
the
shit
front
doesn't
door.
work.
You ate it?
Yeah. So he's freebasing
like-
Axe.
Yeah.
I'm like,
He's-
I'm hungover. Oh, this is great stuff. Let me take
Stu's
a
over
shower.
here trying to explain how he got gifted some Axe material in Mexico. No,
Right.
dude, you
no,
bought
no,
that shit.
no. Literally,
Good fight.
it was. I didn't buy this stuff, and it wasn't in Mexico. I got it here from. It was like came in the mail or whatever. I was like, and it was, anti-hangover. I was like, I'll take this with me as a small thing. I was like, I'll take.
What's
this
the
with me.
science behind an anti-hangover soap?
Yeah, I'm like, where?
Like, what do they tell you?
I think it's just got to have like invigorating mint scent.
Like a
That's what
peppermint
it wakes
scent.
you up.
Yeah.
Something that'll wake you up. That's all it can be. And I'm shocked that Axe would sell a product that doesn't do what they said
yeah.
it was going to do.
Yeah.
Well, you know when you buy that the body spray and you cover yourself in it,
Chicks.
girls just like are magnetized to you.
It's a
and-
fact.
yeah, and throw themselves at you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, science.
That's about right.
Yeah, spring break.
I am glad that shit came after we were like,
Oh.
because if I was a 13-year-old boy and that shit was out, yeah, that would have been a problem.
There's
Yeah.
marketing.
When it wasn't working.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
didn't need Axe. I had Dracar Noir.
Yeah.
And I would spray that
Polo.
all over me. Like, I just stunk. Like, my entire junior high reeked of Dracar. And then we got to high school, and it was Cool Water. There, I just dated myself.
Yeah.
Everyone can go back and figure out exactly when I roamed the halls. 'Cause that's Cool Water was it.
yeah,
for a
but
while
to
there.
me, all that the aerosol stuff's way worse than putting too much cologne on. Like, too much cologne is a bad smell, but that aerosol where like just the aerosol product just smells
We just
worse than
spray
a
it
cologne.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Is cologne still a thing?
I don't smell it a lot when I'm out in my
Because I
day
can't
to day.
count less than maybe 10 times I've worn cologne in my life. I think. Is that a thing right now?
I used to wear it all the time. I don't
Really?
I don't wear it anymore.
I have 2 bottles, and that's about it.
Do you still wear it though regularly?
No, not regular. I mean, if I'm going, not regular. No, not a daily. But it's like if I'm gonna, I got.
I have the
I have
same.
a bottle of Polo.
He dabs his wrist and rubs them together.
I have some
Oh, really?
Aqua Velvet
That is my
aftershave.
I still do that. I don't
That's
know
what
why.
chicks do.
Yeah, well, I just learned that's like how you're
Okay.
supposed to do it.
No,
So
that's what chicks do.
okay. Well, I don't care. Fucking chicks are right.
Yeah.
I don't wear cologne. Like, I probably have worn cologne once in the last year, and I remember it was like I was going out with my wife to something, and we were dressing up, and like I saw the cologne that I've had for 20 years, and I was like, you know what? She liked that 20 years ago because she got it for me.
I've never met a cologne that was subtle
Yeah.
to where you're
There
like,
are some out
there's
there.
not. I've never walked by someone wearing cologne and been like, Jesus, dude, you're wearing that shit. Everyone
Yeah.
in this bitch smells it.
Properly worn cologne should only be smelled by the person
You want
next
to
to
smell
you.
it. Yeah.
Like, you should never smell cologne just walking by. You should have to be,
on top of someone.
yeah, and then go,
Yeah.
ooh, good stink.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
what
the
I was-
right
I was-
way to wear
I have
it.
2. One is Polo, and you could definitely, if I squirt that, you could probably smell it in the next room. But the other one is, which I like, is called Light Blue, and it's like it's a light cologne. It's barely smell unless you want it up right on top.
Smells
of it.
like blue.
Yeah.
The
Great
best.
smell.
It's personal preference. That and my Aqua Velvet aftershave.
Oh, you're an Old Spice guy. Or a brute. You're a brute
Who
guy.
uses aftershave? I do not. I can't tell you the last time I used aftershave.
I can't tell you last time I used shaving cream. I just use my Mach 3 in a hot shower.
Clearly
Really?
That's it.
can't tell you the last time I shaved. It's been a while.
That doesn't chew your face up.
No, I mean, I will. I'm in the shower, hot water.
I
get
definitely
my
shave
face,
in the shower,
Well,
but
no, I
like,
just get my face really good and with water. I mean, heat it up, and then I get out of the shower and shave over the sink with just a hot razor.
I'm shaving the spring break.
Yeah.
This week is my big
Yep.
shave. I'm pretty excited to get all this stuff off my face, especially because I'm in Raleigh, right?
And
there's
you
this-
get Yukon Cornelius
this-
often.
no, I don't. There was this beer called the hipster handshake.
oh, nice.
And I'm like, I'd like to try the hipster handshake. And I order that. And then I turn around and I look, and they've got the cooler with all the beers in it. It is like they drew a silhouette of my shitty beard on the side of this. And it was like hipster handshake. I was like, oh, that dude's got my haircut, my facial hair. I was like, I am a stereotype.
You got a look going for sure
Oh, it's a look.
that everyone has.
I think it's few and far between that has the big mustache with the big beard.
Well, we've talked about this. Everyone has beards now. It's fucking so fucked out. Like everybody
Yeah.
has a beard.
Well, mine's coming off. It's getting warm. Spring break.
You'll be the minority.
So I'm wondering if I should just take it all off, or if every day on spring break I should just adjust it a little more,
Yeah,
so that on
that's
the
what you should
final
do.
day it's gone. But I look like progressively weirder
Yeah.
throughout the week.
In the last day with the Hitler. And
No, that's not how it goes.
then- or just say you're Michael Jordan from that one Hanes commercial. That was really weird.
I think I'm going to reverse Hitler it. I'm going to take out the center
oh.
and leave the wings on the mustache.
That would look awesome.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just give it a little something.
Do some mutton chops.
Ely's like about to throw up in his beer.
Yeah, I'd give that a 4.
Yeah, it's coming. But this is the big trip, man. I'm
So where are
looking-
you going? We totally got sidetracked over to Panama City.
North Captiva Island in Florida, which is there's
Right above South Captiva?
well, it was all at one time Captiva,
Uh-huh.
Yep.
and then in 1921 an earthquake came through.
Oh, I thought
and
they
it
got
flooded.
in a fight.
Yeah,
The
they
North
just
versus South?
one seceded. Yeah, South Captiva seceded. North Captiva still going strong
Yeah.
with their own thing. Actually, it is very much like North Korea, South Korea. Like South Captiva has cars, internet, all that. North Captiva's got golf carts,
Yep.
no cars.
That's cool.
No nothing. So I'm ecstatic about that, but what I didn't realize is how pissed off my wife would be about how difficult this whole journey was. Like when I heard it, I thought, "Ooh, isolation. No cars, no nothing, no grocery store there."
Your
just
wife
a
went
little-
to Costa Rica and y'all drove across the whole shitty country in a rented shit box.
and in her defense,
What could be more awkward than that?
she never complained once while we were there the entire time. We were boarding the plane, and I looked at her and I said, "I think that was the best trip we've ever been on." I was like, "That was ecstatic. When are we coming back?" And she looked at me and she's like, "I'm never coming back to
Yes.
this place." And I was like, "What?" She was like, "That was awful." I was like, "You didn't have fun?" She's like, "That was your trip. I would
Yeah.
never have poo-pooed it." So
Yeah.
I had a blast. She's like, "But now that we're flying back to America," she's like, "I cannot wait
Yeah.
to get back to America."
So let me guess. You got to get some camels and hike it in. You got to bring everything you need for the week when you're in Captiva.
Everything for the week needs to be brought in.
Yep.
Food, too?
Yeah, you have one shot.
No restaurant.
That can't be true.
No, there's 4 restaurants on the island, but like you're not getting a lot of choice. The breakfast will always be the same breakfast. No one's doing huevos rancheros.
Yeah.
It's eggs and bacon. And there's one little shop there, and it's got basics.
Yeah.
You know, like they might have this kind of beer. They'll have this pasta.
But golf cars will be cool.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. When I saw it in my mind, I was like, "This is the greatest trip ever."
Did you think about your wife?
Yeah, because I thought she loves to sit on the beach and drink.
Uh-huh.
What is better than a secluded beach? where
Are
she
y'all
can
going
just
with
sit there?
anybody?
Yeah, with the Duke and his family.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
So they're happy because my wife and the Duke's
Oh,
wife.
full families though.
Yeah.
Yes, kids, the whole nine. And
Yeah, some people take their kids with them on exotic vacations, too.
Well, my kids are a little
Thank
older.
you,
my
Troy.
my kids are a little older. They like it when I'm not at home.
That's true.
So the Duke won't.
I'm not there yet.
The Duke won't have. See, he'll be fine because he doesn't have to refrigerate his mayonnaise. He can just put it in his backpack
All
and bring it
kinds of
over there.
space.
I pulled my mayonnaise out the week before we left.
And just to get it up to
Get it
room temp.
acclimated, yeah.
So, but I didn't realize like getting groceries there. You have to bring all of your groceries with you, but you can only bring so much stuff onto the island.
You do everything the hard way.
I
You really
do.
do.
I do.
You do everything the hard way.
So then I found a.
My wife was listening to a podcast a week or two ago, and she said,
This is what she
Brendan
said?
does everything the hard way. And I wish I could remember the example. What were we talking about? It'll come to me. But you do everything the hard way.
I do everything the fun way.
Fun for you, not everyone in your circle.
Kids ate ramen.
There's other people.
Yeah, there are.
the
Imagine
kids,
that.
the kids ate ramen noodles for 7 days straight. It was the easiest food to bring on the island.
Yeah, yeah. So like we were trying to figure out because you can only bring so many groceries, and you can
yeah.
fill like one bin, and so like each person is allotted one case of a drink that can come over on the water taxi. So whatever you want, you get one case of it, which would never
For family
work.
of 4 doesn't work. That
No,
doesn't
it won't
work.
So then I found a service, and this service will go to the grocery store, will shop for you.
Well, that's probably really cheap.
Dude, literally a 40% markup. So everything that's $1 is $1.40. But what they'll do is they pick it up, they taxi it over, they go to your place, and they unpack everything and put it in. So you're getting some level of service.
You're getting strangers in your place.
Yes, which is the best.
That's awesome.
So I told my wife, I was like, look, let's just go basic shit. Like if I say I want beer, like we can't get good beer.
The kitchen table story.
I do it the hard way. Yeah.
She was listening to that going, what is he doing? I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Still
I
not
don't
done.
tell
I
you.
got to sand it down
Yeah,
next
it's still not
weekend and
done.
finish it. Yeah, you can tell your wife that unfortunately that's not done because I'm doing it the hard way. But so the groceries, I thought, okay, here's a solution. We'll just throw money at it. And then, of course, you try to order. There's no like online ordering. You have to fill out a spreadsheet and you have to tell them
I'm out. I'm not even
This-
going, and I'm out. Like, this is dumb.
you have to say the brand you want, the size you want, because like if there's different sizes, like this one in ounces, and then they buy it and they take it over. So,
So are they buying it from the marketplace that's available, or are they bringing it from like if they give you a say, okay, we're
no,
gonna
it's
go
from a
we're gonna
grocery
go to
store.
Publix,
Yeah, it's a Publix on the mainland,
and you got to
Why can't you
picking
go
it up.
and buy it and take it over there?
because I can only take so much stuff.
Are you riding over on a boat?
Yes,
Dude, I worry about you.
it's a little boat that you can take over, and so you can only get so much stuff.
This is a racket is what it is. You can take whatever you want, but they're not going to let you do that because they get kickbacks from upgrading your fucking.
Oh no, it's a safety thing. The boat.
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
that's
want
what
to
it
overpack
is.
the boat.
But
Come on,
is there
right?
only
Safety
one?
first.
Can't
You
you
can only
take
take
the, can
2
you take
bags
the
of
boat-
groceries.
can you
4
take
would tip that
can you
bitch
take the
over
boat
and set
every
it on
day?
fire.
Yeah.
You could take the boat every day if you wanted to pay for that boat, and you wanted to take the time it takes to go all the way back over there and then catch the next ferry. And there's not like it's ferry service; it's private companies.
Why would
that
you
do
even
it.
want to go there? Because if you run out of something, you're screwed.
I'll just go to Mango's Beach Bar, get myself a quesadilla and a Bud
dude.
Light,
You-
living
you-
the dream. It's
You'll-
gonna be dope.
Is your place on the water, or is it on the beach?
No,
No. Why would you
What?
do that?
no, that
Why would you go to an island and not stay on the water?
because I've got the best. I saved a fortune by not being on the beach, and then I spent some of that money on the baddest golf cart I could get my
To
hands
get
on.
to the beach.
Yes.
So not only you're hauling food on to be there, to go enjoy yourself, you've got to haul more.
Oh, it's dude. It's it. My wife is not like when the idea came up, she was like, "This is the best idea ever," and now that she's in like the logistics of it, she's like, "What are you doing? Like this is
Vacation's supposed to be relaxing and easy.
Don't you think once you get there
No.
though, it's going to be
No.
super relaxing?
Dude, on our honeymoon, we went to St. Thomas, and we didn't know at the time, the resort we stayed at, it had like 3 restaurants on it. 2 of them were closed because it was like their off season because it was the dead of summer. And we were like, we can't eat at the restaurant 24/7, so we had to take a van into town and buy $200 worth of food so we could like make sandwiches and shit for lunch in our hotel room. And it was a nightmare.
That sounds great. I'm ecstatic about this trip. The thought of being cut off sounds amazing to me. The shelling's going to be phenomenal.
Oh yeah, you talked about that. It's gonna have great shells, right?
Yeah, have I talked about that on air? Or is that
I
just
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, well, I'm
I think you
psyched.
did. Yeah,
I'm psyched about doing some shelling.
because we were talking about you knew you were getting older. About
I think
When you
that's
get
because I'm
excited
getting
about-
old. Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're getting.
Yeah. This beard is killing me, dude, because I keep dyeing it, and everyone keeps going, "You are so gray," and I'm like, I am literally dyeing this beard. Like everyone keeps calling me Santa. I'm
It's
like,
less gray than it would be.
yeah, like we are many shades darker than this beard is, and I keep getting Santa comments. Not pleased.
Don't grow the beard.
I'm growing the beard.
Well, you're about to shave the beard.
Yeah, but I'm saying as long as we're gonna do this M4K stuff, then I'm stuck with the mustache. I may as well grow in a dope beard.
Well, I
around
can't
it.
wait to hear about this trip, and I'm gonna have to ask your wife because you're never gonna tell us the truth about it.
Well, next episode you'll hear all about it.
Yeah,
I'll be back. I'll be tan. Oh, I'll be so shredded.
you have all kinds of dope shell necklaces.
I'll have shells galore, and my wife will be like, "Best trip ever," and high fiving me. I know she's gonna be high fiving me on the last day when she's got to be on the ferry at 7 a.m. To race to the airport to catch the flight out. Which I'm just taking the next ferry and then just driving home.
Have you seen the new local air service that flies super cheap out of Richmond one way to a bunch of places?
Yeah, they
Breeze.
got New
Yeah.
Orleans.
There's 5 in
Charleston.
and they're adding 5 more that like
Nashville.
go north. Yeah.
Oh,
And now they're going to go out west too. That's going to be the next.
they're
thing
adding
doing.
5 that go like to like Providence, Rhode Island, like
That's the problem with living in a second-rate city, like a mid-tier city, if you will.
yeah, but still the fact that we have like places you can fly to for $100 one nonstop is pretty awesome.
Yeah, but you're limited in places. Like if
Yeah.
you live in Chicago or Charlotte, you're New York, you fly anywhere.
Yeah, but is
Correct.
it cheap? Because it's so busy. Is it cheap?
It's a lot cheaper
Yeah.
than here. I know my wife paid an exorbitant amount of money to fly to because she's going from one mid-tier city to an even smaller city. Then she's got to take a cab 45 minutes to the island or the other place.
Still better than your
to get on a
dumbass
ferry.
driving.
Yeah, I'm psyched about driving though.
No. I've always wanted to go up to Maine, so now that breeze is flying up to like
Yeah, I've never been to Maine.
Delaware, Rhode Island or somewhere, like you can rent a car and it's like a 5 or 6 hour drive up there. I hear Bar Harbor's an awesome little beach town to visit in Maine.
Yeah, but you got to have your groceries driven in. They shuttle them over.
No.
Yeah. That's how it works. You can barely get custard there.
No.
Dude, speaking of flying, I had the first experience of a major like bounce landing.
Oh, that's fun.
It was twice, and it was not what you I was like, holy shit. The flight was awesome.
It's a lot more violent than you expect.
And the guy, I don't know if he just dropped it out of the sky, but he landed, and literally the plane bounced up. We came out of our seats. I could see out the window. It came down again. It bounced up a little bit higher, and then we came down. And I was like, that was the hardest fucking landing.
That doesn't
ever.
bother me. You're already at the ground level. It's the
Yeah,
falling
but
out of
still,
the sky
yeah.
that I
Me too.
wouldn't like.
That was
Like if the landing gear buckles or you slide off the end of the runway, you're gonna be all right. Like,
But I mean,
Yeah.
the vast majority of if you're going to die in a plane, 80% likelihood that it's going to occur on takeoff or landing.
yeah.
You're a
don't
lot
thi- I
less
don't think
likely
so.
to fall. Oh, that's just the stats. Like, as a guy who's scared of flying, I sit there and like I'm buckled, taking off.
well, that's like the stats that you're more likely to die in your car 5 miles from home.
That's because you never travel out
Exactly.
on
Like
but,
that's,
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
but it's rare for a plane just to fall out of the sky. It's more likely that when it's going up, when it's under all that pressure of the thrust, that something goes wrong and then you fall out of the sky. So like
but-
after like 2
yeah,
minutes,
but not a
in
lot
the
of
air-
like you don't hear about landings where planes touch down and then crash and fireballs. Like that's
Technically, all the crashes are on the landing.
not. Yeah,
Technically
Yeah.
speaking, like, you barely just blow up in the sky.
True. That is
It's-
true.
The
Yeah.
landing's always
Only
the
in
tough
movies.
part. Yeah,
It's not the fall, it's a sudden stop.
yeah. That's,
We
Good point, Steve.
shouldn't have tried landing on the side of that mountain.
it was a bad landing spot. Bad landing.
Should have waited for a runway. You're right.
See, so the numbers add up.
Yeah.
Yeager Airport in Charleston, West Virginia. Flat airport. It's an airport on top of
Jaeger
the
with
ma-
a Y, just so
Yeah.
people are like,
Yeah.
like, damn.
Yeager Airport. It is on top of the mountain, and the end of the runway when you're taking off, the planes don't necessarily have to pull up. They can just go kind of straight off because it's such a sharp valley drop off the side of the mountain. It's pretty crazy.
Watch a cool documentary about Boeing.
Yeah.
Did you see that
Yeah,
documentary?
that was pretty good.
That was crazy.
BOEING.
Yeah,
like
the airplane,
Yeah.
Boeing. They had a couple 737s that
Air Max.
malfunctioned and crashed themselves.
Yeah, and that's all a computer
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, it was. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
The computer was like, your shit's fucked up, and the pilots were like pulling back on the yoke, and,
And the
the
computer's like,
airplane's
"No,
just
no,
like, no, let's go down.
We're saving
And
you.
it was right after
Yeah.
takeoff, like you said.
Yeah, that's exactly when it would screw up, and
And
it
it
would
was
just
the-
start diving, and no matter what they
Yeah.
did, the computer's like, no, you're trying to kill us.
Yeah,
It was the
And
first.
Boeing
and-
tried to cover it up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Boeing tried to cover
That
it
was
up,
a big part of the
or they
problem.
did cover it up.
Yeah. It was
After
the
the
first
first
and
one.
only time there was a system that didn't have redundancy.
They tried to act like they didn't know about it.
Boeing. We
And
don't
then-
need redundancy.
and then-
that's their
We
always been
got
their
it first time
that's,
every
that's
time.
their tagline. Yeah,
I love that people just still don't understand email. Like,
yeah, because they sent emails around, and then they were like, all right, we'll cover it up, and
Yeah.
then someone's like, we have these emails.
yeah, we have this thing called IT, and they can like pull all your emails.
So it's on a
What?
server.
That's ridiculous.
I'll be damned.
It's like the murderers that go around killing people and then got their cell phone in their pocket the whole time.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah. We have you here at 7:37 p.m. No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, you need someone to drive your cell phone north while you head south,
Yeah.
and then meet up with them later.
Yeah, that was a good doc though.
I'm gonna check that one out because that.
Well, you hate flying, so you might not want to.
Well, actually, but I've been on many. I look for that 737 Max.
Yeah.
I won't fly them, and so there were a couple companies that got rid of it early,
Yeah.
and those are the only ones I would fly on because there were other ones that were still flying them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but that problem's not fixed.
Yeah.
Like, that's just going to pull you out of the sky. And that seemed like a negative.
Yeah. Crashing is not what you look for in a plane.
So I didn't mind driving to Florida. That was my whole point.
There you go.
And it turns out I'm saving a shit ton of money.
Are you?
Yeah, because apparently they're
I don't know if
charging-
you know gas has gone up.
Yeah, well, that goes up in planes, too. And
Well, I actually heard someone say it's not going to affect anything for a while when it comes to planes.
all I know is the flights.
Well, if you've already booked your flights, you're golden. That price is locked.
I think just because it's spring break, they jacked all the
yeah.
prices up, and we're flying again from a mid-tier market to an even smaller airport to be close to that particular island. Nah, my wife booked the flights. They were 8 times what I thought it should cost.
Holy shit!
And then she's flying 2 kids too. I was like, oh, that was a.
Well, and if she's
dagger.
got multiple stops, she's probably not going to save much more time than you driving. Honestly,
She's gonna save some time, but not as much as
but
you would
the
think.
headaches that come with taking 2 kids on and off, your bags getting on
Which
and
is
off.
all part of why she's furious.
Yeah,
And then you can only take so many bags on the ferry. So I'm like, you got to put your stuff in a carry-on. She looked at me like I've lost my.
well,
damn
flying's a
mind.
nightmare now because there's just baggage rules. Like certain airlines, you can take this many, you can, or you get charged for this, and you can't do that in certain sizes. Like
The big airlines, they don't have any of that nonsense. Like if you're flying like Delta, United, American, you're fine. But as soon as you get down to like the spirits of the
the
world,
breeze, like I was previously talking about.
yeah, those are
They're like, you want a bag? Ah, ha, ha, ha.
$50.
Yeah,
So why wouldn't she just fly down and all of their bags be in your car?
that's actually a great idea.
Precisely what we were doing. You see, you're going to get into the logistics. There's a lot of problems with this. So we were going to drive all their bags down, have them bring the carry-ons. Now, then we were just going to have them pull them out of the truck. And
Oh, you
come
know,
over.
girls though, I can't not have my 4th pair of shoes with me while I'm, traveling 30,000 miles in the air.
Yeah,
Like,
and you're going to a place where there's literally nowhere nice to go. It's
Yeah.
flip-flops, shorts, and a T-shirt every time. But no, of course, she will have the knee-high boots all
Yeah.
the way down to the flip-flop, I'm sure.
I do. I am an overpacker. Like I'm not really good about.
I'll overpack, and then I'll get there, and I'll wear the same, like,
Oh, yeah,
3
for
things.
sure, yeah.
And I'm like, well, I guess I could have just brought that.
Yeah, but you don't want to be caught without,
I don't.
especially if you're on an island where there is nothing.
I know. So we had the big plan. We're going to truck all the stuff down there, and then they would just grab it out of the truck and take it over on the ferry, or we could take over. But we ran into limits, so we could only take so much. Turns out, where you have to park your car, you have to take a shuttle from that to the actual dock because there's no parking at the dock. And so I called around to every ferry service, and they all have the same situation. So I was like, oops. So that got humped.
You're a sucker, dude.
So the big plan, it's just not easy to get to this island. And
It's almost like they don't want you to show up.
well, they don't want people who can't plan to show up, which is apparently us.
It sounds like something more fun for you and the wife. I feel like having the 2 kids in tow is going to be just. It's harder.
I mean, the whole premise behind everything is just for the island to not be overridden, I guess, with just stuff. They're trying to keep it pristine.
Yeah, I mean, the vast majority of the island is a national park.
Well, that's like St. John. I mean,
Yeah, like so that sounds great, but St. John has infrastructure. This place intentionally has like very little infrastructure.
Yeah.
And what is in there, to Troy's point, is a bit of a good old boy network. So they are probably all in cahoots on some level,
making some money.
Yeah, because if you keep another grocery from showing up, then you can keep the prices high in that grocery, and everybody benefits.
Well, what are you doing for spring break, Ely?
Nothing.
That sounds cool.
Just
Yeah,
hang
man.
out with the
Should
kids.
be awesome.
Just hang out with the kids.
I don't even know when it is. When is it?
Next week,
Next.
from when this comes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the first, week in April?
Yeah, right after Easter. Is it Easter after Easter?
Oh, I don't know. When's Easter?
17th of April,
Before Easter.
I think.
April 4th through the 8th is
I mean, it's
Chesterfield
It's
County
currently spring break right now. And
Yeah.
spring break is one of those things that, like, because I got a buddy whose daughter is in Gulf Shores, Alabama right now.
They're
And
on
it's
spring break.
full-blown spring break. Like, I got a video, and it was just, like, the crazy party, like the whole It's like one of those little hotels that has like 6 places with balconies, and every one of them is just overflowing with kids, giant beer bongs coming down, music pumping. I was like, yep, spring break.
So the scuttlebutt on the couple of flights that we took back from Mexico, we happened to fly back right after they extended the mask mandate for airplanes. Like it was supposed to end, but they extended it 1 more month. And the scuttlebutt was they're like, we think because of the mass influx for spring breakers, we want to keep the masks on the plane for 1 more month.
No one says scuttlebutt outside of the Navy.
Ely got it.
Said the Marine to the Navy guy.
What's it mean in Marine and Navy circles?
Scuttlebutt?
Yeah,
Rumors.
that's what I thought. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard
It
that
was just a flight
term.
attendants. The flight
I didn't know
attendants
they had different.
sitting. Yeah, no monkeys on these planes this time, luckily. But there was.
I was
talk
listening to
about-
the last episode you were on, laughing my ass off, Ely, about the all your boot camp stories.
Oh, yeah. Those are funny.
Oh, they're always funny.
Funny if you're not there.
Not at the time, right?
Right.
I guess that's true. To us, great stories, Eli. Yeah, I don't know how much I dislike the whole mask mandate on the plane. Only because I used to get sick all the time.
Yeah, well, it's fine. I mean, wear a mask if you want to. Don't get sick.
Yeah, I didn't. Now that it's like kind of like okay to wear a mask, I might wear a mask on a plane because I used to get sick. Seriously, like I'd be flying, I always had a cold.
Yeah.
If flu season came and I had to fly a bunch, Ely's obviously been on a plane.
Yep.
The best were the.
Well, most planes are small. So, I mean, if you think about the number of people that are in them breathing and coughing and sneezing and stuff, like, it only makes sense people are going to get sick.
Oh, and I feel like inevitably, I'm always within a seat of somebody who's hacking the whole flight. Like either next to me,
Yeah.
directly behind me, right in front of me, just hacking the whole time. I'm like, damn it, man.
Well, even if everybody's healthy, you're still, like, touching and in close proximity to people. Like, you're not in – you and I are best buds, and we're not in that close of proximity. Your wife and you don't sleep that close to each other.
Yeah, the
as
plane,
you
you're
do, like,
on.
yeah,
it.
like you are.
I got a king bed so we can have a foot between us.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Yeah, I'm literally touching elbows with some
Yeah.
rando. Yeah.
Not in first class.
Yeah, even in bathrooms,
Oh,
you
see,
have
look at new Stu.
Yeah.
Not in first class. Stu buys out the row next to him
Yeah.
just so he doesn't have to be anywhere near people. Ugh, gross.
You don't fly private, you broke-ass bastard.
Yeah, Stu,
next-
you got a long way to
Yeah.
go, my
It's long,
friend.
yeah. Yeah.
You got to get that Richie Valens flight, dude. Private.
I get that joke.
That's harsh. That's harsh.
No, he looks like him too.
Yeah, he does.
Hope you die, Stu.
Well, I didn't mean it like that. It was I was going for the joke. In retrospect, yeah. I guess that sounds worse. I only expected the Valens family to be upset. I didn't think you'd be upset too, but I get it. I get the words.
Just make a hit record first, and then you'll be a hero.
That's true.
Yeah.
Stu goes down, no one's gonna care. Like, oh, I'll care. Damn it,
Yeah.
sounds horrible. But like, you need a hit record, dude. Get that Skinner thing
Yeah.
going, or get Richie Valens.
Keep him coming.
I mean, the Big Bopper would not have been known unless he was on that plane with Richie Valens. Big Bopper's just a DJ.
None of those guys would have been known probably if they didn't
Well,
die. I
what's
mean,
the other guy with the glasses?
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly. He would have been.
Buddy
He
Holly
had
had
some songs out.
he had a bunch of hits.
Yeah, I'm saying, but the Big Bopper,
Yeah. he was
nobody would have known who the Big Bopper was.
on. Yeah.
You know, no one. If Elliot in the Morning dies tomorrow, no one in California is going to talk about it.
Right.
No one outside of the D.C. Metro and Richmond Metro.
Dying young always helps. I mean, it's like Nirvana. I mean, would they have kept being as good as they were? Who knows?
Oh, in this day and age of social media, yeah, everyone would have mourned him. I know
No,
what
I'm
you're
saying
saying.
like would there because Kurt Cobain died.
No, they would not have been as good. He was
Like
a heroin addict.
everyone's like Nirvana, the greatest band ever, you know, and they were game changers. I'm not going to take that away from them, but like,
But he was a heroin addict. He wasn't going to keep. Alice in Chains stopped making hits because Lane Staley wouldn't leave his house.
well, my point is when you die early,
It helps.
like Amy Winehouse, like she had a bunch of hits,
Perfect.
but would
example.
she still be like churning out hits, and would she be looked at in the light? Would would Kurt Cobain still be looked at in the light that he's looked in if he was a 48-year-old guy? Like,
No, Amy Winehouse was like a. In retrospect, boy, she really was good.
Yeah.
What a loss.
yeah,
Like she had one hit. I mean, in reality, now you go back and listen to her stuff. She was brilliant. But
Yeah.
like, I don't think it would have been known. I did
No.
get to see her live.
Oh, did
that was
you?
a good one. Yeah, just randomly at like the Virgin Festival in Baltimore. Like Amy Winehouse. And I was like, oh, that's that rehab chick.
She probably had more than one hit. We probably just don't know it.
She wasn't prolific.
No.
You know, her career was very short. And then she was a big loss.
No, but
because-
all those musicians that die early, they're like, they get put on a pedestal.
Yeah, because they died early.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps.
Yeah.
It helps to go out early and not have had a chance to really screw up your legacy.
Yeah, to like slowly fade
Yeah.
and
like,
never give up and just
turns
keep
out
churning out
you
shit.
are just a drug addict and you weren't like.
And you only had that one or two hits in your system.
Yeah, you're going to take that mailbox money and just buy more heroin? That's
Yeah,
not
just think if Milli Vanilli had died in a plane accident.
before they were outed.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Oh. That would have been the best thing that.
Or Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice has
Yeah.
kind of brought himself back in his own shitty way.
He has, but he'll still always be Ice Ice Baby guy. I mean, that's
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what else did he do?
his first record was pretty good.
I know it's full of hits.
Dope.
But I suck.
I mean, he was in Ninja Turtles 2, so that's pretty dope.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh, man. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
That was an exciting spring break.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to
I
be.
did nothing.
Ely, we'll get you out there. You'll have good stories next week.
Can't wait.
Something big's going to happen.
I'll be there.
Over spring break. You're going to be like, man, I got a sunburn from this
My
awesome
spring break
shit."
is visiting 2 colleges with my oldest.
Are you opening up the lake house anytime, the river house anytime soon?
Yeah, 25th, I think.
Nice.
March.
There you
So,
go.
Awesome.
So it's
Last week.
coming. Last week. If you haven't had a chance to head over, send. Geez, I can't think of anything. I'm trying. Why don't you send us some topics? It's insidethepallethouse@gmail.com, or you can head over to our Facebook page and let us know what you're thinking about. We'd love to talk about it. If you haven't had a chance to send us all that discretionary money you're sitting on, you can always do so on our Venmo. Troy, that's your cue.
At Inside the Pallet House.
Wait.
At Inside the Pallet House.
That's the one. Thank you guys so much.
You fumbled. You gave it to me and I fumbled.
It's a double fumble.
Yeah.
But look at the recovery.
That's right.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Pick me up some of those Senior Frog Peace Out shirts.
Collect the whole set.
Stu made it funny. I liked it. Right at the end.
Save his best for last. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?